Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie film for theaters released way back in 2007, the Adult Swim community was hyped beyond belief, and it showed thanks to the overwhelming financial success of the project. The film performed so well that fans began to wonder whether another Aqua Teen, or realistically any Adult Swim film based on a series, would release in theaters in the future. Well, there were allegedly some talks about doing more, specifically another Aqua Teen movie. If you're an avid Aqua Teen enthusiast, then you've probably heard of a little rumor known as Death Fighter. Death Fighter is a rumored sequel to movie film. This alleged project has been known about since around 2008, with Dave Willis, co-creator of the series, discussing a sequel film being released in 2009. Eventually, Radical Access Inc., the team who animated a lot of the Aqua Teen series, during an interview with Collider way back in 2010, mentioned that they were working on a sequel to movie film, joking about how the upcoming film would be the third movie in the series, meaning that they completely skipped over the second one, and that the movie would potentially be in 3D, although from the tone of the team's voices, it seems like the 3D idea might have been a joke as well. Side note, do 3D films still exist, or is that gimmick dead and gone? Anyways, the Radical Access team then stated that the sequel film was planned for a theatrical release, but when asked about more Adult Swim movies based on popular shows like Squidbillies, for example, the team stated that Adult Swim will never make another movie again besides the Aqua Teen sequel.
Have any other films in the pipeline? Any other Aqua Teen movies, or for any of your other characters?
Yeah, the sequel to Aqua Teen. Yeah, it's called, it's in 3D, whatever it is.
Is it actually going to be in 3D?
Yeah, it's the third one. We skip over 2. It's in 3D.
Getting back to the second Aqua Teen movie, is that also designed for a theatrical release?
Yeah, it is, but we're not sure if we have a distributor yet. But.
Well, do you have any chance of seeing any of your other characters? Like, I would love to see a Squidbillies movie, if only because I can't imagine seeing 80 minutes or 75 minutes straight of that type of animation, that type of humor.
Man, that would be amazing.
I think there's a trilogy in the works. I don't know.
Lord of the Rings style?
Yeah, no. I don't think Adult Swim's going to ever do another movie again, to be honest with you. Except the sequel to Aqua Teen.
The third.
The third. We're skipping the second one. We're going right to 3.
In 3D.
Yeah, no.
For the next few years, there were various mentions of the film's script being written, and even Matt Molero, co-creator of the series, back in 2012 in an interview with Media Mics, stating that the script was written, but it was all about trying to convince Adult Swim to make another movie. Although the first film performed super well and generated a lot of revenue, Cartoon Network did, however, lose like $2 million because of the whole Aqua Teen Boston Moonanite guerrilla marketing incident, which generated panic and prompted officials to essentially shut down Boston for the day, thanks to LED signs of the Moonanites from the series being mistaken for IEDs. Yeah. Dave Willis stated in a Reddit AMA after the series was canceled in 2015, contemplated creating a Kickstarter to fund the project. Ultimately, that never happened. Once Adult Swim, back in 2021, announced that Aqua Teen, as well as The Venture Bros and Metalocalypse, were getting straight-to-DVD movies, fans began to speculate as to whether Dave and Matt were going to finally bring Death Fighter to life, or if the next Aqua Teen film was going to be something entirely different. Well, lo and behold, Plantasm released in the fall of 2022. Not Death Fighter. When asked on the Dancing is Forbidden podcast about whether to make Death Fighter or Plantasm when approached by Adult Swim back in 2020, Matt Molero stated that him and Dave tossed the idea around, but ultimately decided to save Death Fighter for when him and Dave had a bigger budget, as the project involved more intense animation and a lot of A-list actors. And just last year, Aqua Teen artist Robert Pettit posted this image onto his Twitter account, which he drew up for fun one night while testing a new font. According to him, this image soon sparked the rumors of an Aqua Teen movie spin-off, which was allegedly a joke, but also not. So, long story short, Death Fighter never came to fruition. However, prior to Plantasm, fans of the series were very hopeful for a sequel to the award-winning blockbuster of the century that shaped the cultural landscape of our world, and I was one of them. You know, sometimes whenever I discuss Adult Swim content here on the channel, I usually divulge into a nostalgic rant about growing up with the network at such a young age and how the show's humor and nature of Adult Swim impacted my entire psyche. Well, look, the whole reason for this video is based on a small core moment from my childhood that I haven't been able to shake. I've been in love with Aqua Teen since I was a young lad. In fact, the series was one of my many obsessions growing up. I would spend hours on the Adult Swim website watching the same few episodes that were available to watch during that week. I would draw the characters and I would traverse the internet to learn about the creation of the series, the backgrounds of each character, etc. And so one day when I was about 9 years old, I stumbled upon a post on the old defunct Adult Swim message boards that read Death Fighter Story Revealed. It was posted in April of 2009 by a user named Bloody Bird Brain, great name by the way, and it basically detailed the plot of the next Aqua Teen movie. And at the time, I believed the plot to be real. Spoiler alert, it's fake. I was truly a gullible little twerp though. If only I had the patience and knowledge that I do now, I would have easily understood that this post was totally fake. To put things into perspective for all of you, I was one of those kids that would fall for those dumb internet scams like the free PSN gift card code generators. That was the type of kid that I was. Not trying to justify my gullibleness or anything, I just wanted to be known right now that I was decently smart but also really stupid.
Glad you guys didn't fall for that, though.
We may not be smart, but we very well be very dumb. We're very good at being dumb.
I remember reading the plot a couple of times, getting excited, telling some friends at the time, and then I just kind of forgot about the whole thing until later on when I was in high school, when I learned that Aqua Teen was canceled. And then I spent almost a decade on and off searching for a screenshot of this rumored Death Fighter plot from the message boards, but to no avail. Eventually, I assumed that the plot was lost and I just stopped looking. Until recently, just about a month ago now, Aqua Whatever on Twitter, who runs the Aqua Teen Hunger Force fandom wiki, asked on Twitter if anyone had a screenshot of the fake Death Fighter synopsis, to which I replied with how I've been trying to find the story for years. Hours later, I received a Wayback Machine link from Aqua Whatever featuring the fake plot synopsis of Death Fighter from the old Adult Swim message boards. And let me just say, first of all, I am so happy that I finally have access to this post again, so thank you so much to Aqua Whatever. I doubt you're watching this, but if you are, thank you, because you have no idea how long I've been waiting to see this plot summary again. If I had access to this plot sooner, I would have thrown this into my Aqua Teen iceberg towards the very bottom. Anyways, I now have it. I have the fake plot summary for Death Fighter, and I want to read it to you guys today because it's just insane. So the story would have allegedly began on the continent of Africa, where BillyWitchDoctor.com would have resurrected Chicken Biddle from Movie Film. Biddle would have then began to exact his revenge on the Aqua Teens by selling their television on eBay to someone across the country. I'm assuming the country is the great old US of A, because Africa isn't a country. Because TV is a very important part of Shake's life, the team would have attempted to locate it. The plot summary then states that during all of this, Meatwad watches a movie about two Mexicans who use foul language, which somehow alerts CPS or Child Protection Services, even though Meatwad is almost 40 at this point. And so CPS then declares war against Mexico, where Dr. Weird is on vacation. And so because of this war, Dr. Weird's holiday getaway is completely ruined, and in order to vent his frustration, he decides to place a glass dome over New Jersey because, and I quote, he once saw it in a movie. God, what was it, The Simpsons? One thing leads to another, and Dr. Weird and Chicken Biddle team up alongside Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and challenge the Aqua Teens to an extreme badminton competition. Shake somehow alerts ZZ Top from the real world, despite not knowing how to play the game, and not surprisingly, their head gets blown off during round one. There is also mention of a secret weapon, which probably is something ridiculous and over the top. And that's basically the plot. Despite this plot summary being fake, it honestly does sound like a real Aqua Teen story. It's random, chaotic, all over the place, and it totally matches the same energy of Movie Film. That's not a dig at the show or first film or anything. I mean, the series is just an over-the-top clusterfuck. That's the whole gimmick. Anything could happen. So although this fan-made plot sounds completely ridiculous and random, it would definitely fit the whole zeitgeist of Aqua Teen. I remember reading this plot summary on the old Adult Swim message boards when I was a kid and just getting all excited for another Aqua Teen film. One that I could potentially see in theaters because, well, I was way too young to see Movie Film, which is probably why my parents never took me to see it when I asked. I mean, I think I was like 7 when that film released. Who would take their 7-year-old kid to see this? Although it's 2024 and we still don't have a Death Fighter movie, I'm just very grateful that Adult Swim gave Dave and Matt a chance to bring Aqua Teen back for another movie, being Plantasm, and a whole new season as well. Before we wrap up this video, I do want to mention that it's still totally possible for the rumored Death Fighter project and even more Aqua Teen episodes to be produced in the future, as the series was not NOT canceled by Adult Swim or Warner Bros. Discovery as of May 2024, although this video will probably be up in June. There was a bit of speculation on Twitter back in the middle of May as to whether Aqua Teen was canned again by the network because Matt Malero responded to a tweet regarding which canceled shows should return. A larger account on the site then retweeted a screenshot of Matt's response with the caption, "Aqua Teen Hunger Force might not be getting a 13th season anytime soon." Then comicbook.com posted about the tweet as well, and the speculation basically created a lot of discourse online. So eventually Ronnie of Dancing is Forbidden brought Matt on for another interview to discuss the future of the series, and the consensus was that season 12 performed very well and that Adult Swim was happy with the success of the new episodes, but just hasn't picked up the series for a new season yet. In fact, the network just isn't doing a whole lot at the moment due to the issues regarding the Warner Bros. Discovery merger, the massive layoffs, the writers' strike, etc. So the show hasn't been canned. But if you're curious as to why Matt responded to this person's tweet with Aqua Teen, Dave and Matt have been fake canceling Aqua Teen for so many years now. It's a running joke in the community. Unless Adult Swim just flat out admits that the series is canceled, don't trust anything. Adult Swim Central also posted a very great article discussing the false rumors, speculation, etc., and I'd highly recommend checking out both the latest Matt Malero Dancing is Forbidden podcast episode, as well as giving the Adult Swim Central article a fair read. In conclusion, Aqua Teen isn't dead, the series could be renewed for another season soon, Death Fighter could still totally happen, and anything is possible with the power of friendship and a lot of money. But yeah, that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that little core memory of mine. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, hit the bell icon to be notified on whenever I upload a brand new video, follow me on all of my social links, and join my Discord server. The links are in the bio below. Have a great day, everyone. But remember that Aqua Teen will never be canceled again.